Welcome to your level 2 working from home mobility routine. The goal today is take your body through a large range of motion very quickly, get all joints moving, and then you can get back to your day. The only equipment we're going to need here is going to be a Theraband as well as a hand extensor tool, okay? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to stand on up. We're not at the office anymore. We don't have to worry about judgment from anyone else. Just don't have your camera on as you're doing this. Okay. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take our Theraband. I'm going to loop my hand up a few times in this Theraband, and I'm going to pull it apart. We're going to go through our lunge matrix. What's our lunge matrix? Okay, we're going to start by taking a step forward, going into hip extension. I press my hips forward, and then I press my arms all the way over my head, okay? When I step back, I then keep the back knee bent, front leg locked out. I know this is a lot, and I reach down to the floor. Again, let me do it sideways for you guys. I step forward. I go into extension with my hips, press my arms up. I step back behind my other foot. I reach down. Step forward, arms up. We're going to do 8. Again, if this is complex right now and you just want to do flexion extension this way, go right ahead. But this is super important to learn. Easy way to take your body through a huge range of motion very easily. The goal here, flexion and extension of our shoulder, our hips, our spine. Okay, switch sides, opposite leg, step back, reach for the foot. Again, depending on your mobility, you might not look like this. Let me do a couple more from the front. Hips, if you want to take bigger steps, you can. Really be a hero. You get to really stretch out the tissue of your hip flexors. Deep breaths. Again, you won't probably need a cup of coffee after this because you're going to get the blood flow going and you're going to feel good. Next, we're going to do some lateral side bend stuff and some stuff to stretch out our QL and lat. So I'm going to take a step to the side, small step. I then shift my weight to that leg, locked out leg, side bend, press my arms over my head. When I go the other way, I cross my feet, I side bend, press my arms over my head. Again, we're doing our lateral lunge matrix. Press, side bend, press. Let me do some this way. Side bend, press my arms. Cross the legs, 8 of these. Again, how much movement can we get from very few movement patterns? What joints can we take through all of their ranges of motion? What muscle groups can we warm up? It's exactly what this routine does. Okay, other leg, I think it's helpful when I do it this way. Step to the right, arms go over, cross my legs. The leg steps over in front as well. Hips over. That side bend is really important. Think of trying to get your elbows, when you're pulling this band apart, trying to get your elbows over to your side. It's sad that we are sedentary for so long. We sit at our desks without movement. Time flies by. We're tired at the end of the day. Sometimes we don't then go to the gym or do anything at home. So I think this is a nice reminder, if we set an alarm and we do this throughout the day, that we got to take care of ourselves. Our future self is going to thank us. Okay, next, we're going to work on some rotational ability. So I'm going to do a rotational lunge. I'm going to show it from this angle. 8 reps here as well. I'm going to step back and make an L with my legs, and I'm going to shift my weight to this leg, a little knee flexion. As I go here, I rotate my torso. When I step back, I make a T, and I rotate the other way. Open up my hip. Deep breaths. Turn this into a little dance. 8 reps. Now I get to go through thoracic rotation, as well as internal and external rotation on my hip. Trying to keep relatively locked out legs when I stand here at the end position. Again, I shift my weight to my back foot. Okay, let me do a couple from this angle. Okay, I step from noon to about 9 o'clock, turn my toe out, that's really important. I'm externally rotating my hip. Show a couple from here. Really work on turning those arms a lot. Almost there, guys. And good, okay. Next up, simple, we can get our chair again. We're going to work on stretching out our glute. We took our spine and a bunch of different joints through a large range of motion. We're going to take a seat. You can do this standing too if you want. I'm going to cross one leg over the other in a pigeon position. And now I'm just going to take a deep breath and sit all the way forward. When I do this, I try to maintain a neutral spine. Back is relatively straight. I mean, you can do this one as you work. About 20 seconds hold. And we switch. Again, maybe your leg doesn't look like this. Maybe your knee's up real high. You can't get this pressed down. It's okay. You got opportunity. You got to try to fix something soon. So we might need to do some soft tissue work on our glute and loosen that up so you can get into better external rotation here. And then the hip flexion here forward. Deep breaths. Okay, beautiful. Last thing we're going to do, we're going to get our extensors for our hands. I'm going to stick the first forefinger, so I'm going to go right past the nail, right to the first knuckle of each finger. And we are going to work on extension of our fingers. So once I get there, I think of opening up my hand as much as I can. I go into wrist extension, wrist flexion. We're going to do about 30 seconds of repetitions here. It's so important because of our lifestyles these days of closing our hands on our phone. I mean, at our computer, we're in wrist flexion typing. So many things. When we lift weights, we close our hands. So working on extension of the hand is so important and underrated these days. Oh, and going into flexion and extension of your wrist while holding your fingers open, so much more beneficial than you just holding your hand open. So again, I know it's tough. If you can't do 30 seconds and you can only do 10, 15, just mark it down every day and try to do an extra second. You know, over time, we'll just accumulate more volume. Okay, other hand, opened up, flexion, extension, deep breaths. Again, my forearm, oh, tissue in here, it's really working. Almost there, almost there. If you're someone who has trouble going into wrist flexion, this is a great way to strengthen some of the tissue that you need to, as well as we'll have to work on loosening up some of the tissue in our forearm and slowly get us into that position more frequently. And good. And there you have it, guys. A super quick way for you to get a bunch of blood flow throughout your body, take your joints and your spine through a large range of motion. Now we can get back to work. So appreciate you being here. Keep taking care of your body throughout the day. Set another reminder, get more of this done, and I will see you soon.